And hi everyone, and welcome back to the Launchpad here at reInvent, together with about 40,000 people behind us. Today we have some great guests, and we're going to talk about Greengrass machine learning. Right. So can you please introduce yourself and what are you doing?
Okay. Oh, hi there. My name is Satyen Yadav. I'm a general manager in IoT. I take care of IoT edge services. So yesterday we announced free RTOS, machine learning at edge using Greengrass. So those are some of the areas.
So you had a busy last 6 months.
Busy 6 months and then busiest day yesterday.
I can imagine that. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I'm Jason Chen. I'm a product manager on the AWS Greengrass team. So I'm working on Greengrass, and lately I've been working a lot on machine learning, especially bring machine learning to the edge devices.
Awesome, yeah. And we have with us Julian.
Yeah.
Julian, you want to say a couple of words?
So hi everyone, I'm Julian. I'm the AI evangelist for AWS in EMEA, and I'm happy to have you guys.
Thank you. It's awesome. Happy All right, so I mean, we're talking about Greengrass. Can we just recap a little bit and say quickly to our listeners, what is Greengrass?
Okay, so first, within the IoT space, we started as a little bit of a history. Started as a cloud service, now we call it AWS IoT Core. Yep. And last year we announced bringing the IoT Core services and Lambda functionality to the edge. And that's basically the Greengrass covers these. Lets you program the devices on the edge using the same programming model. Yep. We support Python, Node.js, and Java. So that's basically the background. You could have IoT application running on the edge with intelligence on the edge. Sometimes you don't have a connectivity, not enough bandwidth, or some of the data cannot be taken away from the on-prem to the cloud. So the Greengrass helps you develop those applications.
Right. And you say it very smoothly like this, but I just want to say to everyone, like, Greengrass is part of the IoT platform, and IoT platform is a platform that lets you connect millions of devices securely to the cloud, build awesome application. I mean, it's pretty awesome service. So I've been using it, building a lot of demo with it. For me, it's been one of the highlights of AWS services. Yeah. So you got to take that. Yeah. It's cool. So what are we announcing today? What is machine learning for Greengrass?
Yeah. So I want to say a few more words so that you get the full context.
Right.
So we this year what we have done is extended our software services towards the endpoint. That's where the Amazon Free RTOS, which is the real-time operating system for microcontrollers. So if developers want to quickly develop the end nodes, the sensors, or any number of things that are very small devices constrained in terms of CPU power, memory power. So first we call it going edge of the edge.
Yeah, that's right.
The second thing we did is many cases this IoT application requires some level of intelligence at the edge. So today, typically for example, if you wanted to take advantage of machine learning today the steps that you go through is you compute intensive part on the cloud where you're building the model, you're training the model, and then you're developing an inference application, and then you run that inferences on the data that you have, find the pattern, and then you apply it to the application you're doing. All of these predominantly done in the cloud.
Yeah, so you would have the connection between the device and the cloud.
But it's all done in the cloud most part. The thing is, if you want to do the same model on the edge, it'll require wait, meaning if you ask a question to the cloud, a response will come back. You need to send all the data first, and you get a response back.
So you mean we haven't solved the problem of speed of light?
No, that's the limiting
still
factor.
exists in the cloud?
There you go. There's a law of physics. It doesn't change. It's a natural law.
Exactly.
So within that scheme, yesterday Andy, when he talked about Greengrass machine learning inference, he talked about waiting is the hardest part.
That's right.
So you're trying to bring the intelligence to the devices, and then you don't want to wait. So Greengrass machine learning inference is a different way to approach the intelligence on the edge. And the steps you go through, you still do building and training the model in the cloud, similar to what you do. We also extending that you can actually either use our SageMaker as one of the services that we offer, or you can actually use any other service that you have. So we let you build and train the model with whatever setup that you have. Then you go use the Greengrass service to package the model, the inference framework, and the inference application, and you, with the click of a button, which Jason will show you in a minute, you deploy onto the edge. And once it's deployed, then imagine this intelligence will work not only with the quick latency, you don't have to send the data, so there's no cost associated, timing delays associated with the sending the data and bringing it down. Also, the system will work if in case you lose the connectivity.
Right, and we're talking about doing that because we have customers running IoT applications that are in places that there is no connectivity, right? And they do want to have being able to make decisions closer to...
Correct, and there are many examples. One of the examples Jason and I will talk about in breakout session today is, think about a video camera on a street.
Right.
And it can detect different types of vehicles, how many vehicles, the crowd, the different patterns in the cloud, but also it can detect if there's a trash can in the view, is the trash can full? So now city can not only monitor security-wise, traffic-wise, they can also bring the services, emergency services or simple utility services like picking up the trash can is much easier.
Yeah.
And the way to do this, instead of sending this video feed somewhere in the central location, you can take all the decisions here. So Nokia is one of our partner and customer. We'll demonstrate how it gets done. It's actually, for folks, they can actually view this demo.
I'm from Finland, so Nokia is our local, is our big local company. So I'm really looking forward to see that demo.
And we have other customers, just give you a little bit of brief of what it can do. We have a customer from agriculture, from very different, and they want to sort out the produce right in real time. So think about corn harvester, picking up the corn, taking the corn that doesn't meet shape or the form or there another problem, quickly sorting it out.
So manufacturing,
manufacturing side, you can actually look at the quality of the thing. By the way, it's not about just the camera. You know, sensor activity could be coming from vibration sensor, moving sensor, but also there are infrared camera. There are industrial grade camera. So one of our customers have a camera that can detect the spectrum changes in case of gas leak. So think about a camera pointing to a big gas tank, and if there's a gas leak, machine learning at the edge, it immediately tells you what happened.
Right, you don't want to wait to have a decision in the cloud to say, maybe you should,
so my take
do something,
So my take is, once you bring the intelligence to the edge, the number of applications one can think of is just imagination is your limit here.
So let's move to the demo. I think everyone is waiting for that.
Okay.
Can we move the screen to the demo? Awesome.
All right, can everyone see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you see here is the AWS Greengrass console. Right, so here you have many what we call Greengrass groups. For you guys have never seen a Greengrass group before, that's a representation of bunch of devices and a Greengrass core devices in the middle of that group. So imagine all the sensors, they're connecting and talking to that single Greengrass core device.
So and the core is the brain, basically, of the group, and the other ones are more like
the core is like your edge device, and we run the Greengrass runtime on it.
Exactly.
Right. So let me just pick one group. That is my traffic device.
Yep.
Right. It's a camera, and up to this point, people have been able to running the Lambda function on their device.
Okay.
Right. And what we are doing today is we injecting machine learning inference capability onto that device.
Right.
So what I want to show you is, say if you already have a Lambda function defined, so that Lambda function will run on the camera device. Now if I want to let this Lambda function to run more machine learning stuff, so this is your inference app, right?
So it's loading the model
so
and
it needs to load the model, but the model is in the cloud somewhere, right? How do I put that as a resource so that Lambda function and the Greengrass can use that? So that's what I'm going to show you. So if you click into the Lambda function, you see there's a resource button here.
Yep.
Right up here, you can add different resources to let Lambda function, the Greengrass device, to use, and you need to define those things. One is local resource. That's where you can define CPU, or more generically, you can define USB or serial device.
Okay.
But what I'm going to show you here is really how to add a machine learning resource. That's where the models, machine learning, cloud train the models come in.
And this is a big improvement, right? You could do something similar before this service. You could actually take, let's say, an MXNet model, provided that it was small enough, and you could package it within a Lambda function, like a library, say, and you could deploy it. But it was just a big heavy model, and it wasn't perceived as a deep learning model. No. Here it's obvious you're going to declare that. And yeah, please go on with the demo.
Right, and
so
I want to really add to his point. I mean, you could do everything today, but it's a lot harder. Right. For example, the model, especially deep learning model, some of them can be like a 1 gig. There's no way you can package it with some function
because
downloaded.
we have a lambda, we have a size limit on lambda, right? So
then there are other considerations. A lot of our customers have this very fast training deployment cycle. So if you're going to do that 3 times a day, that's very tedious. So up until now, there isn't a managed, reliable mechanism for you to link the cloud training, the deployment, and the local execution all together seamlessly.
So AWS fashion, we take the heavy lifting out.
We take the heavy lifting, so our customer can focus on more important stuff.
Business application.
What I'm going to show you here, let's say I have 2 models I want to run. Many customers run multiple models on their device. The first one I want to show you is the SageMaker integration. So up here, you can see I see all the training models in the SageMaker cloud. So as you can see, I'm in the Greengrass console, but because we did native integration, all the training I did in the SageMaker is just going to show up here.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to use a ResNet model here, which is the most recent one I trained. So that's, say, the model in the cloud, then here's the local directory. It's basically saying, where are you going to put this model at? Let's say we define a local path here. So models, this is ResNet. OK, you say, OK, get this model into this local directory.
OK.
Right? Then I just give a name. Let's say
ResNet or reset?
It's a ResNet, not reset.
Yeah.
No, don't reset.
Don't reset. And it's basically save.
All right. And by the way, we have a session this afternoon on SageMaker. So if you didn't catch up with SageMaker, we have a full session this afternoon, and
so
we'll answer all the questions.
You can see you can add it, right? It's basically say, oh, here's a Lambda function, and you get a model, right? Do we have time? We add one more.
Of course, we have time.
OK, so let me add one more because a lot of people do multiple models. So another one I want to show is if you want to bring your own model, so if you train somewhere else instead of SageMaker, you can always put them in S3. So all you need to do is let us know the S3 URL. And again, here you say, I'm going to put into var models. And for this one, it's SqueezeNet model.
Yeah.
OK, and I just say it's SqueezeNet. So that's another model. It's in a different place. And save it. OK, so you are done. You basically say, I'm adding 2 models to the Lambda function. And what's left? What's left is basically you click that deployment. Then boom, the Lambda function, the inference app goes to the device, and the models also goes to the device. And now they can do the cool machine learning stuff there.
Yeah, so we still need to download them. It might take a while because network connectivity with IoT devices is not what you'd expect. And you could have surprises, but OK, this is going to be taken care of automatically, right?
Yeah, the nice thing is the console will show you the status of deployment. When everything is ready, it shows green, then you're ready to run.
That's cool. So, I mean, you've been working on that for a while now. What have been the challenges building this? Just curious about that.
Yeah, I'll tell you my personal story because I'm not a real programmer anymore. Years back, I left it. But when the team asked me to try it out, and I have tried every product that the team is doing, there are some rough edges right now. That's why it's preview. But I was able to make it work in a few hours, so from scratch. So I started with a Raspberry Pi device, had a camera on it, and we have an example demo that customers can download. And I was able to get that running, and then you can take a picture of
an object.
Object in this case. It can predetermine certain objects. And I have a 14-year-old daughter. She said, Dad, what are you doing? Then I said, look, I'm trying to create a smart camera. Then I called her, and we put a picture of a cat from just off the Google. And then it says it's a Persian cat. And she says, how did you know Persian cat?
Exactly. Oh, cool. You know, so Julian is doing his robot. He has a Johnny Pi. You probably read some of his blog posts. Yeah. I'm sure he's going to start using that now. It's like Johnny Pi just got upgraded.
We have a question. We have a question here from Haggis. Could you remind us what the hardware requirements are for a Greengrass device?
Yeah, so we support 3 configurations right now. So you can take Raspberry Pi and off-the-shelf Raspberry camera, that's one. We have Intel Apollo platform that also supported, and NVIDIA Jetson 2?
Jet TX2.
TX2. So those are the 3 platforms we support. In these cases, we optimize the framework and the model for the target device.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
And so where do you see AI at the edge going? I mean, that's what we're talking about. That's what everyone is trying to figure out.
I think so, and I'll let, go ahead. You want to answer?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think there are a few interesting trends, right? And one of them become more obvious is people want to run AI anywhere. Yeah. The application needs to run AI, and the device needs to run AI. And there's still a lot of challenging out there. Sometimes the model is very big, and you want to deploy onto the device how to run that efficiently. Right. And we have very good customers. They are very demanding. The AI is moving at speed that's amazing, more than any other domain in the past 10 years. Right? I think we are living in a very interesting, great place and time here.
I'm sure. I mean, what we're living is democratization of technology here, right? If you think about what was 10 years ago to actually take an AI model or a machine learning model, train it, deploy it in a device at the edge, and start to do inference there, it was almost science fiction, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Yeah, I'll add something to it, what Jason said, and I have spent more than 5 years doing the IoT system, but I characterize IoT journey in 3 stages. First stage was connecting things, and it was very hard. If 10 years back you wanted to connect things, you didn't know what chips to make, what wireless protocol or what other way to. But we have actually conquered that stage. Second thing was, once you connect the device, how can you update it and do something different from day 1 to day 2? Yeah. And that's where Greengrass comes into picture. You can easily program these devices. The third stage is, all these stages still requires the developer human touch, and then you have to evolve this because somebody has to look at the data and say, okay, this worked, that didn't work, and now I'm optimizing it. The third stage is autonomous systems. And that's where we're going.
I love that.
With this,
the
way Jason described that your cloud, your devices, and then this whole cycle of deploying and optimizing it, once you have perfected, then you have autonomous system, and probably some of the developers like us will be out of our jobs.
One final question.
We need to wrap up.
Is this generally available, and in which regions?
It's a preview right now, and we will be a GA next quarter.
Okay, so customers want to try this?
They can go to AWS/Greengrass/Greengrass/ML, and that's where you'll find the link to apply for preview.
All right, thank you very much for coming here and share all that information with us.
Thank you.
And see you soon again.
Thank you.
All right.